Okay, I decided to do a little infertility update, and since the time that we've been married, we've been trying to get pregnant the entire 6 years, and so we've done a few things off and on, tried to pursue some things, done a few rounds of medicated cycles, met with several fertility doctors and just regular doctors, had so many blood work and tests done, and now we finally reached the point where we have a good insurance that can help us with some fertility stuff. We feel like we're saving enough month to month that we kind of have some extra income that we can throw at this, and so in September 19th, we had our first meeting with the Idaho Fertility Center, and we just kind of gave background, got to know them a little bit more, did lots of blood work, we did a semen analysis, and I had an ultrasound done. And so from those things, blood work, I found that my TSH was a little bit higher than they want, like barely though. And so I have some medicine that I am taking for that. Jeremy's semen analysis came back with poor morphology, but all of the ones that we've done in the past have been, but the numbers are really good, and so the ratio they feel like is still really good. So there was nothing kind of there. And then with ultrasound, I was kind of pursuing adenomyosis. I do have endometriosis, as I had surgery last year and found that out, and they said possibly adenomyosis, and so the doctor was kind of looking at that when she did that ultrasound. That was kind of just our basic. And so from that, some of the first things that they want to do is a sonohistogram, so a water ultrasound, and then an HSG. And I've had an HSG done in the past, but because it hadn't been within a year, they wanted me to do one again. So September 25th, I had my water ultrasound, where they just have a catheter, put water to look at your uterus, see if there's any abnormalities or polyps or just anything in there, and that looked really good. I have a picture that they even printed off and gave to me of my uterus, so that's kind of fun. And then on September 26th, I had my HSG done for the second time, and that's a hysterosalpingogram, and that one was actually quite a bit better than the first time around. The first time I had one done was in 2019, and it was one of the most painful experiences I feel like I've ever had. And this one was by far so much easier, and everything went through really well. The dye went through my tubes and they are open, so everything looked good with that. So then that leads up to October 17th. We had a virtual visit with our doctor. Dr. Conway works out of Utah, and we're seeing her in the Idaho Falls clinic, but since we live 3 hours away, she just did a virtual visit with us. And so we had that video call with her, and we discussed kind of like the IUIs versus IVF. We also went over some of our basic stuff that we had already started with the other doctors at the Idaho Fertility Center. And so during that call, we talked about our insurance does require you to have 3 IUIs, medicated IUI cycles, before you can move on to IVF. So because we're going through insurance, and because they do cover quite a bit, we decided that that is the route that we're going to take. And since we've never actually done any IUIs before, Jeremy always wanted to kind of start there anyway, so that is what we decided to do. And since we were already on day 3, there was kind of a lot that we needed to get done really quickly, and so I will share what our IUI cycles look like as we move forward with those.